Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Kathy. Good
Good
afternoon,
morning.
everyone. Thank you for joining the session. So this is our May webinar. So welcome, everybody. Before we start, please, we can all introduce ourselves in the chat. Tell us where you're joining from, and yeah, just a little bit about yourself in the chat. So tell us your name and where you're joining from. Let's see. Let's check the chat. Okay. I'm waiting to see everybody's names in the chat. Tell us your name. We Hello, Regine from Florida. Welcome. Welcome to our session. Nice to have you here. So we are currently live on YouTube. So you can, share the um link to, other people to join from YouTube. So hi, David from Lagos. Nice to have you here. Welcome to our session. Yeah, let's keep the introductions coming in. Let's keep the introductions coming in.
Tell that friend to tell that other friend that knows that other friend that has that other friend that we are live, right? Share this to as many people as possible. We'll be starting very soon in the next 3 minutes, right? So I'm pumped up. Are you?
Countdown is on. I'm ready to go. I told y'all I already had my giant cup of coffee. I have a caffeine addiction. And then I also I'm a huge Diet Coke drinker. So if I talk too fast because of all the caffeine, just message me, send me a DM, tell me to slow down.
Okay, I'm yet to see other people's everyone's introductions in the chat. Introduce yourselves. It's supposed to be interactive for now, right? So introduce yourselves in the chat. So tell us your name and where you are joining from. We've had David, Regine introduce themselves. I'm yet to see others.
So on YouTube, we have Sheldon Slay and Port Zero, a couple of my friends. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you spending some of your Saturday with me.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to meet you, David. I have like three screens going right now. I have like the Zoom chat on one, YouTube chat on the other. My slides are somewhere, so.
That's nice. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, hi, Manuel from Nigeria. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
I will tell you guys, I only have like maybe two friends in your region, so I'm really excited to meet all of you guys so I can have some new friends. And then I'll say I'm international. I'm an international speaker now. Putting it on my profile, Dan. This counts, right? Like, do you have
Yeah,
to really,
definitely.
Yes, it
do I
is.
have to fly somebody to fly somewhere to be an international speaker? Can this count?
This counts, yes. Why not?
It
Ah,
definitely
Yes.
means.
I'm adding it. International speaker. It's nice to see some folks over on YouTube. I dropped it on LinkedIn and I dropped it in my Discord channel. So it's nice to see people hopping on.
Thank you guys for joining in. If you're over on YouTube, let us know where you're joining in from. Um,
Dan, do you guys have or Faith, do you guys have a B-sides or some kind of conferences in your area?
yes, we do. For B-sides, we try to spearhead that because the last time we held was in 2018, right? But we have not gotten any feedback from the organizers, right? But we have meetups for Hack the Box, right? So campus meetups and some local meetups too. But I'm looking forward to actually spearheading the B-sides for Lagos, Nigeria. Hopefully I get the
Okay.
breath. Yeah.
That might give me, I need to find a reason to come visit, right?
Sure, sure, sure.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, count down 4 more minutes before we get into the show.
Yeah, so while we're waiting, keep on, sending your names in the chat. Introduce yourselves, everyone. I mean, we're here to, connect with new people, right? So please introduce yourselves in the chat. Let's know where you're joining from. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who has done that already. Nice to meet everyone.
So I'm in the United States in Florida. If you're not familiar with Florida, it's still nice and hot here. Year round. I live in the north part of Florida, so I have a few months where the weather is a little cooler, warmer, but the rest of the time it's pretty hot here. So we're still dealing with heat.
I feel like that's we're used to that in Nigeria already. Like that's our daily life, The sun
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
so
but right now it's kind of cool. It has been
yeah,
cool recently.
yeah, I think
Just
we're in today. So
rainy, like rainy season over
yeah,
here.
thank God for that.
Okay. Should I call out names? Because I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people
Yes,
joining in
please do.
already.
We can't be shy. I mean, we're meant to be interactive, please, guys.
We have Innocent, we have Regan, we have Lawal, Daniel, we have Basil. Hi everyone. Can you all introduce yourselves in the chat? We would love to, meet you before we officially start. And tell us your name and the country you're joining from.
And yes, I dropped Katie's LinkedIn um
Oh,
profile
okay.
in the
Oh,
chat.
sorry.
So please connect with her. She's awesome, very awesome.
I'm okay. Yes, please connect, and then I
Just
have
being
a
humble.
lot of
She's
new
just being humble.
friends.
She's being humble. She's awesome, very awesome.
Thank you. Hey, Basil.
Okay, hi Basil. Hi Innocent. Sorry, I must have missed that. Hi Deborah. And hi Daniel. Everyone from that introducing themselves now from Nigeria. So hi, nice to meet you all. Hi Ibilemi. I'm so sorry. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Thank you guys for the connection request. I will get to them after. I just got so many screens open right now, but I will definitely connect with you after the show. Thank you, Sheldon Slay. I see your comment.
Okay, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming.
We'll be starting in the next 1 minute. Um,
Faith, I don't know if I've seen you on any videos. Have you can put yourself on camera and start doing some videos?
No.
Come on, come on. I'll help you out. You can do it.
Okay, okay. So I think We can officially start now. I wanted to keep my introduction for, after everyone. So my name is Damilola, right? Faith Ashedu. So you can call me anyone, right? I'm happy to be here and happy to meet everyone here. So we would start now, and
Yeah,
I would like to introduce our speaker for today. Okay, sorry, before I introduce our speaker, right, I would like to call on Daniel, right, to give the opening remark. So sorry, I would like to call on Daniel to give the opening remark.
yeah, that's
Daniel,
fine.
are you ready?
Thank you very much, Faith. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's amazing to have you all here on today's webinar. This is our main webinar titled Building Your Cyber Brand. I'll just talk a little bit about CyberCrooners community, right? This is our second year in the game. Just have just one goal. That's to raise cybersecurity professionals from Africa, right? And we've been doing that since 2024. We are about 8,500 now across all our platforms. Just have one goal, like I said, just want to equip you from you starting on the cybersecurity to becoming very, having the required skills, right? That's what we, sorry, 1 minute. That's why we are here. Recently we just launched our chapter in Ethiopia for folks in Ethiopia. We have a chapter there, so you don't feel lost. We have someone, represented by CyberCrooners over there. This should be our 14th session, right? So month after month, to bring in industry experts, just like Katie, to talk about several topics in cybersecurity. I don't think any community in Nigeria does this as of now, bringing international speakers and awesome guys like, Katie on board. It's a real privilege for us, and we are happy to be contributing our 2 cents to the community. So please feel free to interact, get your notes, because it's going to be a lot of tips given out here. All right. I wish I could not stream on YouTube because I want to gatekeep all of this, but I just have to do it. So please get your notes ready. It promises to be amazing, right? Thank you guys for listening to my very short introduction. Over to you, Faith.
All right. Are you waiting on me? Hold on.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
screen, all of my 3 screens. I'm sorry. The my share button went away. Just a second. That was a great introduction, though. You did awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Daniel, for that. So right now I'm going to introduce our speaker for today. Who's going to be talking on building your cyber brand. So she is an Emmy-winning producer who began her career in news before expanding into high-impact content, digital media, and live production. She also doubles as a content creator, producing insights on entrepreneurship, education, motivation, and career growth. Through Katie Chambers Media, she works with cybersecurity, tech, and business organizations to create podcasts, videos, live events that engage, inform, and make an impact. From content to delivery, she helps bring ideas to life while removing the stress of production, allowing clients to focus on their goals, their message, and their audience. Join me, everyone, as we give a warm welcome to Kathy Chambers. Please, I would like to see everyone's applause and celebration emojis in the reaction and everything. Yeah. So please let's welcome her. Let's give her a warm welcome. Send your applause. Let's see your clapping. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can see my slides. It looks like, okay, I have a delay on my side. Hold on just a second. All right. So hi, welcome. We're going to talk about building your cyber brand today. I really appreciate all of you spending a piece of your Saturday with me. That makes me feel really special that you're here on a weekend with me. So I think that's really cool. Like she said, I'm Kathy Chambers. I just started Kathy Chambers Media just 6 months ago. Started my own company doing podcast, video, live events for folks primarily in the cybersecurity industry. But one of my main goals out of all the content I produce, whether it be for a client or for myself, is to produce conversations that connect people and create opportunities in cybersecurity. So I have a show that I just launched called Authentically Cyber. I think we're only on our 10th week. And that's like a huge goal of that show is to highlight people in the industry, help give them a voice, and at the same time, the people who are listening learn something, feel part of a community, and feel connected. So that's some of my main goals as I launch my company. So I started off in TV. I was a TV news producer for more than a decade. So if you're listening to this and you are transitioning into cyber from another career, or if you've just graduated looking for your first cyber job, or if you're still in school looking for a cybersecurity job, everything that I talk about today will help you become visible in the industry. So this is how I got my start. This guy right here, this is Daniel Lowry. Daniel Lowry is an IT cybersecurity trainer. We met at IT Pro TV, and this is my first introduction into cyber. Because of my production background, I got a phone call from a friend that worked there, and he said, "Hey, how would you like to come to IT Pro TV and help us launch a product, help us get a product off the ground?" And I said, sure, I would love to. And he said, it's hosting audit. So I don't know if any of you are auditors or want to be audit, but that's the shows that I started with was hosting audit shows. Now, as a host, I did not have to be the expert in the room, right? I'm interviewing the experts. So I take the job and I start working for IT Pro TV, and I'm just doing audit for like months. I'm just doing audit. Finally, they said, hey, how would you like to host a show with Daniel Lowry? It's called CEH, which is the Certified Ethical Hacker cert. Some of you guys may have that cert. Some of you may know me because of this training. I got a couple of messages prior to this show letting me know that that's how you were introduced to me was through this training program. So hello, thank you for being here. So yeah, that's how I got my start, or not really my start. That's how I got my introduction. So through CEH, Daniel taught me a lot of things, right? Like the behind the scenes of cyber. A lot of the terminology is in CEH, so I learned a lot of the terminology. And a lot of people fall in love with cybersecurity for different reasons. So if you take a second to think about why you entered cyber or why you care about cybersecurity. It could be you just want to help people. You want to protect people. You like to solve problems. You like to work with clients. You're very curious. You love to learn. You want to be on the defensive side of cyber. Like whatever your case may be, there's a lot of reasons that people fall in love with this field. I fell in love with the field because of the drama of it all. And what I mean by that is I'm from a news background. So anything that is like hard hitting, I like gravitate to. So the nation state actors, the organized crime, how they took down corporations, how we defend against that, all of that stuff attracted me to cyber. I started reading cybersecurity news every single morning, started listening to the daily cyber threat brief every single morning. Like I was in it. I loved it. So I went to Daniel and I said, "Hey, I really want to start a cybersecurity show. And that's all we're going to do is we're just going to talk about cyber. That's what we're going to do." And he said, "Okay, sounds great." We came up with a format, but he said, "Kathy, if this is going to work, we have to invite top voices from the industry to be on our show." And keep in mind, I wasn't in cyber yet. I did not know the top voices in the industry. I did not know anyone. The only person that I knew, and by association, was John Hammond. That's it. I knew one person. So he's like, "These are the people you need to know." So he gives me this huge list of all the people that I need to know in cybersecurity to get this show off the ground. Well, because of my background, this is where you have to think about what in your background helps you get into cyber. My background was a lot of like just building relationships with people, talking to people, and that's where I started. I did not start off to build a cyber brand. I did not start off like, "Hey, I'm going to be the most popular person on LinkedIn." That is not how I started. I started by building relationships. I started by showing up consistently. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, how you can do that very easily from the comfort of your home. You can start building these relationships. So, what is building a cyber brand? I'm going to tell you what it's not. It is not being an influencer. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to be that, I shouldn't have to market myself to be in cyber. I have heard that on so many podcasts, like in the chat. I've seen people say we shouldn't have to be influencers to be in cyber. Well, that's not what this is. I'm not saying that you need to go on TikTok and sell yourself. That's not what this is. You don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to even go viral. And the biggest thing is you do not have to pretend to be somebody else. You can be you and build a cyber brand. When I was going out on my own 6 months ago, and that was one of my biggest goals was, you know what? I don't want to be corporate anymore. I don't want to pretend to be somebody else. My goal, everybody's goal is different, right? But my goal was to stand out for being me. And that is why your cybersecurity brand matters. That's one of the 4 reasons why your brand matters. The first one is it helps you stand out. So my goal was to be me. That's what I wanted to do. And you're like, well, who are you? I'm loud. I laugh a lot. I can be serious when I need to be serious. I work really hard. And I believe you can do all those things. I believe that you can work really hard, work your butt off, study all night, and still have fun. Those things can work together. Is it hard? Absolutely. But they can work together. That was my personal goal. All of you are going to have different goals. My goal was, hey, what can I do to be 100% my authentic self while being in cyber? Because there's a lot of pressure to feel like you have to be somebody else, or you have to have the right voice, or you have to talk like this, you have to study like this, you have to get this cert. And at the end of the day, that's not really what matters. What matters is that you stand out and you build trust and credibility. And you build trust by showing up and being honest. Think about the people that you do follow. Think about those influencers, okay? Think about the people on TikTok. I always joke that, like, I'm on TikTok, I scroll, and there's a couple of ladies I follow, and they show me like a dress. Oh, you should buy this dress. Da, 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 da. I don't even care about the brand at that point. I care about her. I like her. I'm going to buy the dress because it's her, right? She has built trust with me through this online platform. And if she says it's good, I'm going to do it. That's just how our minds work. So when you go online, everything that you do should build trust with whoever's reading it, should build credibility with whoever's reading it. You want them to know that they can trust you. You're a real person. You're not putting on a fake mask. You're not trying to be somebody you're not. This is who you are. All of these things, showing up consistently, standing out, being you, will create career opportunities. And you're like, oh, it doesn't feel like it. Well, it doesn't happen overnight, right? Like, I have been in cyber now for 5 years on the media side of things, right? And this isn't to discourage you, this is to motivate you. Each year, something better has happened. Each year, new opportunities have opened up. They would have not opened up if I wouldn't have put myself out there. They would have not opened up if I didn't show up consistently. Because nobody would know who I was. That's like creating this beautiful product. Say you build a car and it's the best car ever, but you don't tell anybody about it. How are they going to know? You didn't let anybody know. It's the same thing with yourself. If you're studying and you're getting the certs, or you are building labs every night, but you're not telling anybody about it, they don't know. How would they know, right? You've got to show up, and the more you show up, it'll build career opportunities. I'm going to give you just a small example. I tell everybody, you need to submit a talk. You need to talk somewhere, okay? Start with like a B-sides event. I told people that for 4 years before I did it myself, okay? I started to feel a little bit like a hypocrite. I was like, man, Kathy, you go on all of these podcasts and you tell people that they need to stand out and they need to submit a talk, and you're not doing it. So I did it. Finally did it. Okay. This was just recently at B-Sides Tampa in March. Finally did my first talk. I was very nervous for the first 5 to 10 minutes. I was really nervous, and people could probably hear like the shaking in my voice. But I did it and I made it through. Afterwards, I had like 20 DMs in my inbox. I made 20 new connections from doing one talk. You never know who of those 20, if you're like, oh, that's not a lot. It is. It is a lot from doing one talk. Like 20 people I now know from the one talk. So I post about the talk. Okay. I show up. I put it like, hey, I did this talk at B-Sides. B-Sides is a tremendous organization, right? So they share it. People are liking it. People are commenting on it. It's going, right? Like people are, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I did not expect this much love just from doing my first talk, but it works. Afterwards, yesterday, I post, hey, looking for guests for Authentically Cyber and looking for guests for AI. Last time I posted about looking for guests before my talk, this was before my talk, I maybe got a handful of responses. That's it. After my talk, I post, hey, looking for guests. My DMs were full. I literally spent, and I'm not even exaggerating, 6 hours yesterday going through DMs, going back and forth with people about what we could talk about on the podcast. That would not have happened if I didn't put myself out there. That would not have happened if I didn't do that talk. That one talk led to more opportunities for me. And I feel like everybody's like thinking, oh, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it. But you just have to. You have to take the first step. And I'm going to tell you how to do that in a minute. It also expands your network. I already talked about all like the DMs in my inbox. That's not me being popular. I'm not popular. I'm not viral. I'm not an influencer. I have 5,000 like followers on LinkedIn. That's nothing compared to the people I work with, right? Some of the people I work with in cyber have like 75, 100,000, 200,000. I'm not that person yet, but I'm taking small steps to get there. And as I go along, I'm expanding my network. Which brings me to all these people that you admire and all of these people that you follow. You do not have to be them to get started. Stop waiting to be them to get started. Visibility does not equal fame. Visibility does not mean that I'm famous now because, those 20 people know me. You only need to be, I want you to write this down. You only need to be visible to those you want to be visible to. What do I mean by that? Say I'm new, okay? I'm just getting into cyber. I find 5 companies that I want to work for. These are the 5 companies I want to work for. My goal is to be visible to those 5 companies. That's how you start. I don't need to be visible to everybody on LinkedIn when I get started. I need to be visible to those 5 companies. They need to know who I am. That is what being visible is. It does not mean being famous. It's being visible to the people you need to be visible to. For example, when I started the show with Daniel, the cybersecurity show, and he's like, these are the people you need to know. My goal was only to be visible to those 10 to 15 people. There is no way I could get on LinkedIn and be visible to all people in cyber who do interviews. That's just crazy. That's not a good starter goal at all. I just needed to be visible to those, 10 to 15 people I need to be visible to. And that's all you need to be visible to. You don't need to be visible to all of cyber. Focus on, like, say you're going into GRC. Cool. These are the top 10 GRC professionals that I follow. I need to be visible to them. We're going to talk about how you can be visible to them in a minute. But the first step that you need to do is build relationships with them. Connecting and building relationships are not the same. It is so easy to connect to people. Some of you have already sent me a connection request, okay? All I have to click is accept, and we're connected. That does nothing for either of us if we leave it at that. If we're like, oh, I connected with them. Kathy, I did what you said. I connected to 20 people. That does nothing. The connection, that's so easy. Anybody can connect with people. Building relationships, That's the hard part. And that's what you need to focus on. And you're like, how do you do that? I joked in one of my talks. Well, I wasn't joking. I was serious in my B-Sides talk. I said, when you start to build relationships with somebody, my challenge for you is to talk to them about everything but cybersecurity. And you're like, why would you do that? Why would you talk to people in cyber, not about cyber? I'm going to tell you why. A lot of these people that you want to work with, they're in cyber all day, all night. If they run a company, they're in cybersecurity on the weekends. They're always in cyber. If you come to them and start talking to them about something that's not cyber related, you will literally see their face light up. They're like, oh, you're taking an interest in me? Oh, you want to talk to me about something other than my job? People love it. They love to talk about themselves. Here's what I did. I noticed that a lot of people in cyber play music. I kept watching all these webinars and following all these people, and they proudly display their guitars behind them. And I was like, some of the people I needed to be on my show were guitar players. And so I messaged them. I'm like, hey, caught your webinar yesterday. I see you play the guitar. And they're like, well, yes, I do play the guitar, right? Their faces are like, they're excited to talk to you about playing the guitar. And I said, oh, wow, well, I play 6 chords on the guitar. That's all I play. I still haven't learned to play anymore. I play 6 chords. But that one small interaction sparked a small beginning, but a beginning of building a relationship with this person. Oh, wow, she's taking an interest. She also plays the guitar. Then we kind of talk about how we both play the guitar and how I need to learn a lot more. Okay, it started a conversation. It built a little bit of trust. I didn't come to them immediately and say, I need a job. Will you look at my resume? That is not what I did. Or in my case, I need you to come on my show. That's not how this works. You build relationships with people. Okay. Now let me take that back. I guess if you're doing a podcast, like you do just ask people to come on your show. But I'm saying, like, if you want a career, you want to work for that company, you start with the small conversations first. If you ask them for something immediately, that does not build trust, right? When I started my job 6 months ago, I had people in my inbox who I didn't even know asking me for a job. And I'm like, I had one client. I was like, I can't even pay for me. I can't pay for you yet. And guess what? I don't know who you are. We haven't built any trust. We haven't built a relationship. I don't know anything about you outside of your LinkedIn profile. And if you're thinking, well, why does it need to get personal? I'm going to tell you why it needs to get personal. Let's say that tomorrow morning I wake up and I say, I want to be a cybersecurity practitioner. Okay, this is me. All the things that you've learned about me up to this point. I want to be a cybersecurity practitioner. Well, you also want to be a cybersecurity practitioner, but here's the difference. You've been studying for, let's just say, a year or two, and you have 3 certifications. And I say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to study really hard for the next 6 to 9 months, and I'm going to get 2 certifications. On paper, you know more than me. On paper, you have the technical knowledge way above me. You've been building labs. You've been getting your certifications. You've been networking. You haven't been networking. You've just been studying and doing all those things. Meanwhile, I'm building relationships. I take 6 to 9 months and I get just 2 certifications. We apply for the same job. We're going to both apply for a SOC analyst role. We're going to go into the job interview, maybe let's say the same day. Let's say I don't even know the hiring manager, but I have built relationships with a couple of people that work there. I know 2 people that work at the company. We both go into the interview. You blow me out of the water when it comes to the technical side of things, okay? I'm in the interview and I say, well, I don't know how to do that, but here's how I would learn. Here's how I'd find the answer. Okay, I have pretty good answers. But when it comes to the technical side, you blow me out of the water. But you have nobody to vouch for you. You have nobody at the company who can say, hey, I know that person. That's a really cool guy. That's a really cool gal. Like, I know them. I think it would be great to work with them. I think you should give them a chance. You don't have that because you've spent zero time building relationships or getting to know people. The next day, the hiring manager makes a decision. Who gets the job? I do. I get the job. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's not fair. I know more than you. I blow you out of the water when it comes to technical stuff. Yeah, but you didn't build the relationships. They don't trust you. They don't trust you yet. And that's what you need. You need to build relationships. You need to get to know people on a deeper level. Now, don't go like super personal, right? Don't start stalking them and like know how many kids they have or anything like that. But just find those small things that you can talk to them about and start building relationships. Now, let's talk about the branding side. This is the fun stuff, right? Well, this is the fun stuff for me. I know for some of you, it makes you a little nervous, but this is the fun part. You don't need permission to do any of this stuff. There is nobody that you have to go to and say, oh, can I do a podcast? Okay, let's say you're working for somebody. Maybe you have to ask, but if it's not a conflict of interest, it's probably going to be okay. You can write a blog. You can write a blog right now. You can start after this thing. Nobody's saying, no, you can't do that. It's a beautiful world where anybody can take a camera and anybody can take a platform and start creating content. It used to not be that way, right? Like when I first started way back in the day, you had to work for a TV station or a radio station to get your voice heard. Though no longer do you have to do that. Anybody can do it. You don't need permission to submit for a talk. You don't need anybody's permission to do that, right? You just need faith in yourself. Faith that you can do that. So here's how you start. All of this may seem like super overwhelming, and you're like, Kathy, this is too much. You're asking me to show up. You're asking me to build relationships. That's too much. You're right. It's a lot. I want you to pick just one thing. One thing. And after today, I want you to write that one thing down. This is the one thing that I'm going to do for the next 30 days. That's it. Small goal. One thing. You could say, I'm going to do one LinkedIn post a week. Okay. The post needs to be thoughtful, needs to be something that you've learned, right? Not just like, hey, I'm hanging out today. Eventually you can start to make those posts. But when you're just getting started and you're building that trust and credibility, make sure that it's a cool post. It's you, but you're displaying something that you've learned, displaying something that a hiring manager would look at that post and say, hey, they really know what they're talking about. One thoughtful comment a day. Now, a thoughtful comment is not even on yours. It's on somebody else's post. If you go through like some of my connections or whatever, I try really hard to do this. Usually it's congratulating people, right? If you've done something awesome, I want to be the person there to be like, let's go, like, great job. Okay. The thoughtful posts come though when somebody posts something, maybe they post like an AI article and they're like, what do you think about this? Chime in, say what you think about it. Do thoughtful posts. One networking conversation a month. Now that could be something as simple as this. This could be your thing, right? You come to the CyberCrooners once a month. That's your thing. Boop. You checked it off the list. You're here, you networked, you said hello in the chat. People start to see your name. You did that part. Awesome job, right? You're done. You can move on. One event each quarter. This could be a local meetup. This could be a B-Sides event. This could be a webinar. Keep it simple, but you've got to take the first step. And the first step is literally picking one thing that you can do. You can do a blog. You can do a short video. I know videos can be intimidating. I put it last because you don't even have to do a video if you don't want to do a video. You can just start with these small things first. And then you're like, this is easy. My one LinkedIn post a month, oh, I got this. This is easy. Cool. Add another thing, right? Each month, add one more thing that you can do to put yourself out there. Now, there are a lot of platforms that you can use. Right now, in this day and age, in May 2026, I recommend LinkedIn. YouTube's great too, but for what you're wanting to do, get your first job or transition from one job to another, I recommend that you optimize LinkedIn. You live on LinkedIn. And it does take a lot of work. because every time somebody comments, you need to comment, right? It does take a lot of work. But you need to be true to yourself, and you need to make sure people know what you want to do. What career do you want? What path do you want to take? And every post that you make somehow relates to the path that you're trying to take. Example, oh, I just learned about this framework. This is why I think that this framework will work, or this is why I don't think it'll work. Or better yet, these are the questions I have about this framework. You ask other people, what do you think about this? Get some conversations going. But make sure that people know who you are just by looking at your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that you comment intentionally. All right, I just talked about this just a second ago, but thoughtful posts, and make sure that you share lessons. Now, these lessons can be when you failed. I built this lab and it failed, but this is what I learned, and this is how I got it to work. People love it. They want to hear how you failed. Why? Because that makes them relate to you in some way. And then you're like, oh, this seems like this is a lot. I'm going to tell you why this is important. Every hiring manager that I have spoken to in cybersecurity, one of the first things that they do is look at your LinkedIn profile. That is one of the first things that is a fact. That is a fact. They look at your LinkedIn profile. And as they're going through, how cool would it be if you had an article explaining what this framework was, and they're like, oh, that's awesome that she knows that. We need her on our team. Then they see that you commented on a colleague's post. They're like, oh, look at their comment. They are such a great team player. Look at that. They failed, they admitted it, and then they showed me how they fixed it. That's the kind of person we want on our team. Those are the things that people should be seeing when you're looking at your profile. You want to make sure you support others. And that's why I said, like, if you get a cert, or if you've done something super cool, like, I'm going to congratulate you. I'm going to be there because I want people to know that's who I really am, right? I want people to know that I celebrate other people. So when a client, in my case, right, I need clients, I'm looking for a client. When clients look at my profile and they see that I've commented, they're like, oh, she must be a really cool person. She must be a really nice person. She goes out of her way to support others. That's the kind of person we want to hire. That's the kind of freelancer or contractor that we want, is somebody who does that. And going back to being clear on LinkedIn, you want to be known for something. Pick your something. Pick your lane and try it for, like, let's say 60 days. Pick a lane and try it for 60 days. What is your lane? If your lane is GRC, you're like, I want to be in GRC. Pick that lane, and for 60 days, I want you to post everything about GRC that you're learning, that you've commented on, that you've read about. That way I know, if I was the hiring manager, you're serious about this. Everything that you do, you eat, live, and breathe it. I can see it. Awesome. And this is the last point I want to make about this section, is consistency over perfection. This is where people stop. This is where people get hung up. They are so worried about it being perfect that they never hit submit. They never hit enter. They never make that video. They never do that podcast. They never submit that talk because they're so worried about being perfect. I'm going to use myself as an example. I started this podcast, Authentically Cyber, 10 weeks ago. Pre-cyber, okay, I always had a production team. I always had videographers, and I always had editors. I was the producer. I was the visionary of the show. I can't afford that now. So I'm shooting everything myself. I'm editing everything myself. I'm doing everything myself. And I will tell you, it is not perfect. It is not perfect. My lighting isn't perfect. My editing isn't perfect, right? But I keep doing it. I keep showing up. And guess what? The more I edit, the better I become. The more I shoot, the better I become. Each day I get 1% better. The more I interview people, the better I become. Because I'm just trying to be consistent. I'm not trying to be perfect. It's the same thing. I don't know if you guys watch sports, but if you do, I love to use athletes as an example, right? Not all athletes started off awesome when they were 12, 13 years old, but they became awesome athletes because they never gave up. They weren't worried about being perfect every time they stepped out onto the field. They were worried about being the best that they could be and doing better and better and better each day. They were consistent. They didn't give up, and now they're professional athletes. They could have very easily given up in high school when it got hard, when the competition got tough, when the coaches were yelling in their face. They could have given up then, but they didn't. They stayed consistent. They kept working hard. And that's what you have to do. Now you're like, oh, I need support. I need help, right? That's where you find your people. That's where you join a group like the CyberCrooners. That's where you join a group like Simply Cyber. That's where you hop onto my Discord. Okay. That's where you find your people that will support you, that will cheer you on, that you can brainstorm with, that you can get ideas from. Those are your people. And it doesn't even have to be people. Okay. It can be a person. When I first started in cyber, I had one person, and now I have like a cheerleading squad. Like I have like a whole group of people now cheering me on. But it didn't start that way. It didn't start that way. I had one person, and that's really all I needed. Now you're like, oh, this takes a lot of confidence. This is gonna really, this is gonna be uncomfortable for me. Here's a secret, and here's what I do when I'm feeling down, okay? When I don't have confidence, when I don't think I can keep going, you can borrow confidence. And what I mean by that is sometimes other people see something in you that you don't see yourself. And you borrow that love from them, okay? I like always joke, if I'm feeling down, I jump into like a Discord server or I jump into a chat and I'm like, give me all the love. Like, I need the love today. Okay, I'm not even shy about it. I will tell you if like, hey, times are tough, things are tough. I need you right now. And you borrow that confidence and you take all you can get. But at some point, you have to go out on your own. At some point, you have to gather the strength to do it on your own. Confidence comes from action. You don't wake up every day confident, but if you do something over and over and over again, you start to get more confident. If you're using a tool, right? Say you want to be a pen tester and you're learning how to use this tool, and the first couple of times you use it, you don't, you kind of fail, you don't get it, but you use it more and more, and then you're confident, and then you're like, hey, yeah, I can use that. I can do that. No problem. You took action every day to become more confident. It's the same thing with like giving a talk, being on a podcast, writing a blog. The more you do it, the more confident you become, but you have to take action and you have to get there. And then the coolest part of all of this is that your action then becomes evidence. Your action shows all the people what you can do. Look at this. They can build this tool. Look at this. They know about all this framework. Look at this video. They know how to communicate. They know how to talk to people. You have all this evidence now. Like, oh, I went on this podcast. Look at all these podcasts that I did. Right? I have evidence now. You have evidence now. If you're posting every single day on LinkedIn or just once a week, you're building and gathering evidence that you know what you're talking about. And I just want to reiterate that, like, this isn't an option. This is not an option. This is something you have to do. The market sucks right now. It's really hard to get hired. And I don't want that to discourage you. I want that to motivate you of how you're going to stand out and what action you're going to take to be seen. Hire me. Here I am. What are you going to do that? You have to have the evidence. It comes from building relationships, being consistent, taking action, being visible. And I put courage on there because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot to show up. And if you're like, I don't have it, that's fine. Find somebody who does. Find somebody who has the courage that can motivate you. Find somebody who can hold you accountable. Find your people to help build through it. That's the coolest thing about cybersecurity. When I first started, I had no idea how awesome people were. I didn't know. I didn't know you guys were awesome. I had no idea. And the more I got to meet people, I'm like, wow, this community is pretty great. This community wants to help me. This community wants to see me succeed. And because I was being fueled by that, I wanted to give it back. Right now, I want to be that person. I want to help you succeed. I want to fuel your passions. But it starts with building relationships. It starts with showing up. That is it for today. So I do want to take questions before I go. If you guys have any, or Dan, if there's some that comes, or Faith that you want to bring up, I would be happy to answer them. But please connect with me on LinkedIn. Join Kathy Chambers Media. It's a brand new YouTube channel, a brand new podcast, but I would appreciate if you guys would hop on and say hello. That would be awesome. So that's it.
Thank you very much, Katie. This was amazing. I mean, before we go into the questions, right? Please react. Clap for Katie. Use your press emoji first. I need this chat box to show her all the love. I mean, it was amazing. Please, I need to see everybody's emoji. Please, let's appreciate Katie.
Aw,
Thank
thank
you
you
so much.
guys.
Aw.
I love the hearts. Give me
All
all the
right.
love. Give me all the
Yes,
love.
please. She needs it all. Thank you, Katie,
Thank
for
you
that
guys.
amazing presentation. It was amazing. It was really, really interesting to see you give us tips of how we can actually break in, build our brand, most importantly, stay consistent. Because I feel like that is what most people are finding it very difficult to do. Thank you very much, Katie. So now we'll be going into questions and answers. So Faith, yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much again, Kathy, for that awesome presentation. I mean, I also learned a lot and I took a lot of notes too, right? So I'm ready to take my cyber brand more seriously. So everybody watch out for me.
I love it.
Yeah, so right now we're going into the Q&A session. Right. So the first question we have from some of the registrations is how did you start your cyber brand? What mistakes did you make? And what would you do differently if you have to start afresh?
So I talked about in the presentation building relationships. I did not set out to be famous. I set out to build relationships and get to know the people that I needed to know. Once again, not everybody, just the people that I needed to know. Where some of the challenges were, as Dan mentioned, being consistent is a challenge. Okay. When I started in cyber, I was working a full-time job. And you will find that working a full-time job and being on LinkedIn it's everything's full-time. It's like two full-time jobs. So that was the hardest part, was being consistent. And you will find that when you drop off, okay, unfortunately, you have to build yourself back up. So I think the biggest mistake I made was there was a short time in there from the time I went from IT Pro TV to anti-siphon training at Black Hills. There was like a time in there that I kind of dropped off LinkedIn for a little bit. And that was a mistake, right? Because when I came back full force, I felt like I wasn't completely starting over, but I did feel like I had a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to make up. So once you get rolling, don't stop.
All right, thank you for that. So we are to note that we should remain consistent, right? Yeah. So that will help us, in our journey in cybersecurity. So we have another question here is, so what stands one out as a newbie in cybersecurity, and how can one position for jobs globally? I mean, we have a lot of newbies in cybersecurity here. So how can they stand out and position themselves for global roles?
I think that it's yes, I get it. It's very important that each time you learn something, you let somebody know that you learned that. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you feel ready, because you'll never feel really ready, right? And it can be something small. Or I'm going to use Security Plus for an example. The first part of Security Plus is like the CIA triad, and it's like the very basic introductory stuff. Post about it. This is what I learned in Domain 1 of Security Plus today. Constantly be posting about it. And you're like, well, that's like the easy introductory stuff. It doesn't matter. It shows a future employer One, that you're learning and that you are continually learning. You want to keep learning. You want to know more. So one of the biggest ways to stand out is don't hide what you're learning. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't even wait until you pass that cert. Talk about it now and share knowledge with people because you may know something more than another person and not even realize it. Somebody could learn something off your post because maybe they haven't made it that far yet in their studies. So please post now. Don't wait. Don't wait until you're ready.
Awesome, awesome. So I hope everyone has taken notes of post now, like everything you're learning, no matter how small, no matter how you feel it's simple. So make sure you post it, let everybody know what you're doing. Okay, we have another question. Before I continue, please, if you have questions, put it in the chat so that I can also ask that on YouTube, on Zoom. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. And also, if you want to speak to ask a question, you can, raise up your hand or something. Yeah. So another question is, how do I get my first paid cybersecurity job? It seems really hard.
Yes, it is. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. It's very hard right now. And I'm gonna tell you something, it's not just in cyber. This is like a very me being very open and honest with you right now. I started my own company 6 months ago. I too am having trouble getting clients because everybody's budget is tight right now. No, right? Like everybody is trying to like narrow down or trying to find, how they're going to incorporate AI into their company. And so there's like a bunch of budget cuts and just a bunch of things happening right now, a bunch of downsizing. There's a bunch of mergers and acquisitions. There's a bunch of layoffs in the tech industry. My biggest advice for everybody right now in this time, right? That 3 months from now, we may be having a different conversation. But right now in May 2026, my biggest advice is work a job anywhere that you can get. It does not have to be in cyber. It can be a desk position. It can be an administrator. It can be retail, right? Work anywhere to pay your bills. Do not go homeless and do not go in debt just trying to get into cyber. Here's what you do. You take whatever job you can get right now, but you don't stop cyber. You keep learning, you keep posting, you keep building relationships. You keep going while you're working this side job. It's going to be hard, but you keep going. Why? Because eventually the market's going to even back out and eventually they are going to be hiring. Here's what's going to happen. All the people that quit, all the people that were like, I'm done with cyber. Screw this. I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. When the market gets back up and people start hiring again, they're out. They're not there. They're nowhere to be seen. But you are. You are there because you never left. You kept learning. You kept practicing. You kept building labs. You kept going to webinars. You kept showing up. You were visible. And now they have somebody to call. So it is really hard right now. So I'm not going to sell you like this big cyber dream and tell you you're going to get hired and make 6 figures. That's not going to happen right now. But it will happen because we do need cybersecurity professionals. We do need you. It's just you're just going to have to wait until the market evens back out. And that's just the time we live in. Like if you look back through history, like this is just kind of the times, right? And things pick back up again. But it's the people who stay and the people who keep learning are the people who are going to get those first jobs.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Kathy. So it is important as beginners, right? If you're looking for a cybersecurity job, get anything you can right now to pay your bills. Very important, right? And then keep on being consistent in cybersecurity. Yeah, awesome. So I have one really interesting question. Can you have more than one brand as a person, as an individual?
More than one brand?
Yes.
Yes. I would say yes. Yes. I wouldn't put that more than one brand on the same platform. Like for example, LinkedIn, like that's your professional platform or whatever. And maybe Instagram is where you show your hobbies, right? Like if you do art or you play music, and Instagram is like your hobby channel. But LinkedIn has to stay your professional brand. There's that maybe you can, put some of your hobbies on there. Like sometimes I do just to kind of lighten the mood on LinkedIn. But for the most part, that's your professional platform. And you can have another brand. But I will caution you that it is visible to employers. So make sure whatever that other brand is, that it's still professional. It can be fun, but that you're not doing anything too crazy.
Okay, thank you. I have a personal question, right? So you talked about confidence. So as beginners, right, when we're trying to connect with people on LinkedIn, and some professionals on LinkedIn, sometimes they do not, have time to respond and everything, and that can, reduce one's confidence. So how do we navigate that, while we're trying to build relationships with professionals in cybersecurity?
I think that I have two things for that. One, it's a numbers game. It's just like if you're in sales and you keep making cold calls and you keep calling, you ask any salesperson, they never make a sale their first 10 phone calls. It may take 20. But they keep calling. It's the same thing kind of here, right? Like you keep trying. I think that it's important to be brutally honest when you're messaging people in the field that you need to connect with. Hey, I'm just getting started. Can we connect? I'm really interested in following your work, etc. Okay, so just let them know where you come from. I will say, actually, I have 3 tips. That's the first tip, is to be honest in the chat. Second tip, try to meet them in real life. See where they're speaking and try to go. I always say B-sides because it's the least expensive things that you can go to. 3, if you can't go anywhere and you have to do it from home, show up at all of their webinars and show up at their podcast or show up at where you see that they're speaking. Like a lot of the virtual events are free. Show up and make sure, I know people love their handle names like Port Zero. I'm looking to see like who has handle names in there. Shield and Slay. Like I know people love their handles, but make sure you put your real name as the handle. That way, they see your name over and over. They're like, "Oh, I saw your name pop up when I was doing a talk. I saw your name pop up at the virtual event." They start to see you and remember your name. That way, when you reach out to them, it's not so foreign to them. You can even say like, "Hey, just attended your webinar yesterday. I thought it was awesome. Would love to connect, and this is why." Right? So it's a numbers game, but people have a hard time walking away from you if you see them in person. So I try to get them in person, but if not, just try to show up. Like I'm seeing everybody's name here. I'm trying to take a mental note of everybody's name. That way, if I do something again, I could say like, "Hey, I saw you there. I thought it was great. Thanks for being there."
Absolutely awesome. Yeah, so be honest, right, when you're reaching out to people, and also try to go to events so you can meet these professionals in person, right? And also use your real name. I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of
true.
people in cybersecurity, they like to use aliases a lot, a lot. So I mean, use your real name, especially when you're still looking for opportunities.
So sorry, Faith, let me speak to something, right? So about cold calls and reaching out to people you want to probably be your mentors and all of that. I mean, I do this every time. Just like I reached out to Katie. I remember I reach out to a lot of people and then I don't get replies, but then I don't stop. I still continue, right? And I mean, I think I'll use this opportunity to call out Mr. Daniel Lowry, right? I reached out to him a couple of times. He promised me a session, but then I mean, if he's watching this, please, I sent you a DM like 2 messages, please. We want you on our show, please. Thank you.
Dan, I got his number. I literally have his number in my cell phone. I will text him after the
Oh,
show.
thank
Tell
you
him to
very
get
much,
back to you.
Katie.
Yeah.
Awesome. Shoot your shot though. All right. Okay. So we have a question from the chat from Manuel. AI is downsizing jobs. Isn't it possible to leverage the same AI to boost job chances?
To boost job what?
Chances.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that everybody needs to start to learn it no matter what field you're in. I'm going to start. So Claude has the free training. I'm going to start with Claude. I always encourage people to start with the free training first. And absolutely, as you are learning that and people aren't, right? That will increase your chances. But if you are learning it and not telling anybody that you're learning it, that will not increase your chances. So as you learn, and make sure you're posting about it. So I think around the end of June, I'm going to start my own AI journey and I'm going to post about it. And like, this is what I learned today. And a lot of it's going to be super simple, right? I'm brand new to AI. It's going to be easy, or it's going to be like, low level, knowledge to a lot of people. But it's what I'm learning, and I'm going to put it out into the universe. And I encourage you to do the same. But yes, 100%, you cannot go wrong by learning more, ever. I'm kind of a
Awesome.
nerd when it comes to learning things. So I will always encourage you to learn more.
Awesome, awesome, definitely. I mean, no, I feel like no knowledge is wasted, right? So far you keep learning, it would help you some way or another in your career journey. Okay, so we are done with the questions from the chat. Does anyone have questions that you want to ask, by speaking? Do you want to ask questions as you're on the session, not in the chat? If you have any questions like that, you want to speak, please raise up your hand before we move on to the next um things. Yeah. So if you have any questions, have like 30
All right, so
seconds.
Faith,
Yeah.
sorry, I have a question from YouTube.
Okay.
And the person says, what would you recommend if you know who you want to learn from and work alongside? How do you figure out what unique contribution to that space should be? I'm trying to understand that question. Okay, what would you recommend if you know who you want to learn from and work alongside? Then how do you figure out what unique contributions can you make to that space? Okay, did you
So
get
you're
that?
saying, so like if you're saying like you choose a space, like how can you be unique in that space? Is
Yeah,
that,
yeah. And what contributions can you make to that space? Yeah.
I think nobody else can be you. You are the only you. This is a point I forgot to make when I was talking. You are the only you. So let's just say that I make a video. I always use GRC because I'm in the Simply Cyber community, so I know a lot about that space. But let's just say I make a video about what I learned about a framework as it relates to GRC, and then Dan makes a video about a framework he's learned about GRC. It's going to be different. We are not the same person, and that's what's cool about this. That's why you're unique. You are the only you, and you can communicate what you've learned different than somebody else. Like if you go on YouTube right now and look up like the top YouTubers, they are doing all the same things, especially in cyber. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the same topics, a lot of the same titles, but they all teach differently. They all communicate differently, and different people are attracted to them in different ways because of that. So you are the only you. It's okay if somebody else is doing exactly what you're doing because nobody's going to do it like you are. So I mean, you stand out by from just being yourself.
Yeah,
It's
thank you
that
very
easy.
much, Katie.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'm not seeing any hands raised. Or Daniel, can you see any hands raised?
Not that I can see for me. I mean, this is the opportunity to ask Katie any question you would love to ask. You might not get this opportunity again. I mean, Katie is very nice. She'll respond to your DMs, don't worry. But then, I mean, now you have the opportunity. You can. Let me check over on YouTube. Um, okay, right,
Okay.
David. Let me. Okay, yes, I think you can unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Can you hear me clearly? All right. Um, my question is quite brief. I just wanted to ask about um, you know, you mentioned things about like socializing with people in the space, and I just wanted to ask about, moderating that effort a person makes to, especially in the aspect of, congratulating fellow members about their achievements and things like that. So I was going to ask, like, how do you keep it moderate without making it seem like you're making too much of an effort or, overextending yourself? Do you get that?
So I can barely hear you. Is it about socializing or like what did you Dan, can you hear him better? Because I can barely hear him.
I think he was asking, how do you ensure that
Can you
when
hear
you
me?
are social? All right, David, do you want to try again?
Yeah, can you hear
Yes,
me now?
yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, that was because of my headset. Okay. Yeah, I was asking about like moderating the effort a person makes to, um, communicate, like especially in the comment sections and things like that, without making it seem like a person is making too much of an effort or overextending themselves. You get that?
So, yes, I did. So, I guess I'm trying to find a hard time. Like, what's the question? Like, how can you comment in the sections?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, like moderating a person's efforts, in the socializing aspect of these
Okay,
things.
I think what he's trying to say is how do you do it in such a way that it doesn't look like you're doing too much? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, that was like
Oh, okay. Like you're doing it, but you're not like trying too hard.
exactly without like
Yeah.
making it.
Yeah, I think anytime you comment on what you've learned, I don't think it seems like you're trying too hard. Like if you're like, "Oh, that was a great point. I think this," or "That was a great point because of this." Um I don't think that's trying too hard. And I also think that we're in a time where everybody knows that everybody's just trying to get in. I think there's a lot more grace and understanding now than there used to be. I think everybody has recognized how hard it is. And I feel like we're kind of in this era where everybody's just trying to help everybody. I could be wrong. If you don't think that, please let me know. But I do feel like we're kind of in this, forgive my language, we're kind of in this hellhole together. Right?
That's
We're
fine.
like, I don't know how else to say it. And we're all just trying to make it by right now. And then hopefully, we all come out ahead in the end. So I think it's okay. I do think it's okay to kind of overstep the line right now too, if you have to. Like, do what you need to do to get by for sure.
Thanks,
Okay,
that was very helpful.
yeah, thank you very much, David, for your question. Kitty, I have a question, right? I just thought about this. Are you considering probably having a master class on, how to do video content, cybersecurity, like how to, have the whole podcast thingy and make it look so professional? Are you considering that sometimes in the future?
Sure, you want to help?
No, no, I mean, we have guys on the community that, do cybersecurity video content, right? I know they'll be very
Yeah.
interested in having, so probably in the future. I mean, if you are also on this call, if you are into video content, and Katie is an executive in that field, right? So you can reach out to her, and then I mean, she'll be more than willing to assist you in any way she can, right?
Yeah.
So,
For sure. Yeah, happy to help. Yeah, for sure.
all right,
I could probably put a class together at some point. That would be
yes,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We would have CyberCrooners come in and join the
Okay.
session, please. Yeah,
All right. Awesome. I'll see what I can do.
thank you very
like,
much, Katie.
thank you so much, Katie. So, do you have a Discord channel? You can help us drop it in the
I do have
yeah,
let me
you can
get
help
the
us drop it in the
link.
chat so people can, join also.
Let's see. Do you guys have a Discord channel? I don't think I am on a
No, we don't have
No.
for now. We just have on WhatsApp.
Okay, let's see. All right. I think I dropped it in there. Can you see or can one of you guys
Yes, we
click on
can.
it and
Okay,
see if
awesome.
it works?
Yes, we have seen it. Thank you very much. So quickly, we'll be moving on to the photo session, right? So I would like all of us to turn on our videos. It's going to be really brief, right? Turn on your videos so you can take a screenshot, put a very big smile on your faces, and let's take pictures. I'm waiting to
Love
see
it.
everybody's videos. Turn on your cameras, please. Thank you. Okay, I've started seeing some videos.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Lucky, Regine, Victor, Steven. I'll call out your names. Manuel. Oh yeah, okay, Regine, that's fine. Ghost. For guys on YouTube, I'm so sorry you can't be part of the photo session, but I mean you can always Photoshop yourself.
Okay, I'm waiting to see videos. People's camera. Victor, Ibileme, Dami,
Oh, they're being
Ghost.
shy.
Yeah, being
Don't be
shy.
shy, please. Sumaya, Lucky, Louis, Regan, Dara, please turn on your videos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. I love seeing people. But I also
Awesome.
understand if you don't want to, I get it.
Awesome. Daniel, we're ready for the photo session when
Yes,
you
please,
are.
let's smile. You can, shine your teeth. All
I keep
right.
smiling just in case you take it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm done. That's fine. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank
Awesome.
you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so quickly, right? I'm going to just, talk about CyberCrooners training cohort for um a brief minute, right? So at CyberCrooners, we have a mission to raise the next generation of, cyber talent. So to do that, right, to achieve that, we have training sessions, and we recently completed a beginners cohort, right, and where we trained them for 12 weeks, and they went through the red teaming, the blue teaming, and the GRC aspect of cybersecurity, and they did absolutely well. They did brilliantly, and they presented their capstone project, and it was awesome. So we had three graduates, that's Sumaya, Bofulua, and Suleiman, right? So we have given them their certifications, right? Their certificate of completion. So they are now ready for cybersecurity internships. So if you would, want to be part of CyberCrooners trainings and cohorts, join our community. We would, take you. We train beginners, intermediate, and even advanced levels. And we also have a beginner cohort going on already. So be sure to join our community. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to let everyone know. Yeah, so that's it.
Thank
Daniel,
you
over
very
to
much,
you.
Faith, for that. I just want to share my screen in a bit. We are already coming to um the end of this session, but just give me a minute. Let me just have this up. Mhm. Please don't forget to connect with Katie on LinkedIn, and you can also join our Discord channel, right? To have closer communications with her. All right, so I think I can share my screen now. Yes, please let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see a
All right,
screen.
so yeah, like I said, we are already coming to the end of this session. Thank you everyone for joining in. I'm like you all know, every month we have webinars like this, and next month is not also going to be different. We are having Ori, right? So we talk about the psychology of ethical hacking, right? For June, we are still working on having the date confirmed, but whenever it's ready, we would share. Right, so please stay tuned. Please connect with us, encourage us, and just show us all the love you can. Right. Thank you everyone for joining in. Katie, do you have any parting words before you do that? Let me spotlight you just me a minute. Okay, you can't. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yes, I think you can speak now.
Yeah, I went to sneeze and I muted myself and then I was like, sorry, you
Oh,
can't unmute.
all right. So do you have any?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do want to, I want to thank everybody for spending some of their Saturday with me. That's really awesome. And please connect with me on LinkedIn. Please join Kathy Chambers Media YouTube channel. It's a brand new channel, so I would appreciate the support.
Oh,
And thank you for being here. I'll see you guys on LinkedIn for sure.
yeah. Could you drop your YouTube link so we have guys subscribe
Sure.
to your.
Yeah,
Thank
please
you,
do.
Lucky. Thank you, Regine. Thank you, Damilola. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to remain consistent. Don't forget to build publicly. Let us know what you're working on. Let us, share this with the community, right? Thank you guys very much, rather. See you. We come your way again next month. Bye.
Hey, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.